I'll just let me go back to this. Okay. I will take your attendance periodically, and you will not know whom I'm going to call. So attendance will be at random, and you must be there. And for the attendance, I have 30 points this time. I used to have 20 points, but I must make sure that you will be there all the time. Every day we meet, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So those 30-point bonus is freebie, and you must come to every time we meet. If you do not, and if I call your name, if you get a 3 strikes, you know bonus points. So remember this, please must remember. If I call your name, if I don't find you 3 times absence, the attendance 30 points will be 0. Otherwise, you'll get plenty of points in the end of the semester. And it happens before, and it will happen this time. If someone is running C plus or something like that, I hope everybody get more than better than that. And once I add the bonus points, it will boost up to A. So definitely remember, if you want to take advantage of the bonus points, you must come every time we meet. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And you must take a good notes, because there is no test book. Because it is a condensed course, it is very difficult to put all things together. So therefore, I have all the slides and everything there. Once I put the slides, you must take a good notes. If you want to make a study group, great, you should do that. Make a study group means some couple of few friends, of course remotely, and then compare the notes and then make it complete. If you still have a question, you must come to the office hour and send me email, but don't send too many emails, of course. But if you can come to the office hour, I'll be glad you can see me. I'll explain to you in the whiteboard. I can use a whiteboard, just like a chalkboard, and I can explain everything, whatever you need to know. So take advantage of that. And we have a test, about 3 tests and 1 comprehensive final exam. Tests are given. I'll give you the dates within a minute. And for the test, you must have a proctor at home. You'll take the exam at home. I'll send you the test through the email, and I'll also post it on the Blackboard, the video chat on the Blackboard side that you have the syllabus. I'll post it there, and I'll send you individually as an attachment in the email. So once you receive the exam, you take the test, write down the answers in a plain paper, only 1 piece of paper. I usually ask 35 to 40 questions. These are all multiple choice questions, A, B, C, D, E, probably. And then what you need to do, in the blank piece of paper, write down your name, write down your proctor's name. The proctor, you know proctor, right? P-R-O-C-T-O-R. Proctor is the one who will oversee the exam when you are taking it. And proctor should be an adult. Any family members, friend is fine, but it should be adult. He or she will sign it off once you finish the exam. Once you finish it, only 1 page, right? You can 1 page. I don't think you'll have 2 pages, because say, for example, question number 1, A. Question number 2, B. It will take me very short space. You can use both sides of the page, and not both sides. One side is good enough. Take a good picture and send it to me in the email attachment. I'll grade it, and then I'll put the score in the Blackboard. I have everything set up there, and in that Blackboard I'll also put the answer key, such that you can compare what you missed and what you got. So that will be the test 1, 2, and 3, and the final exam is comprehensive, and that date is designed, or that date is scheduled by the university, right? And when you take the test, there is no test book. Just you are taking the test in the class. No test book, no notes, no nothing. Basically, if you need a calculator, I'll let you know. If you have some math question, but rarely I ask, very few at the most, very simple math questions. But if I do, I'll let you know that you need the calculator or not. All right. So that's basically the exams that we'll have. And next, what we have is and remember, you must have a proctor name and the signature on the sheet before you send it to me. He or she will sign you off, and that means the exam is taken so we can keep the integrity of our test and exam, although it is a home exam, but definitely you'll follow the rules and regulation exactly when you take the exam in the classroom. So this is the syllabus. I have several parts: part 1, part 2, part 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And the final was the radioactive elements and application to health. But we have all those things there. So this is basically in the beginning. You learn some basic chemistry, then you'll apply that basic chemistry into the molecular compounds. So molecular compounds usually the covalent molecules, and that molecules includes but limited to, there's so many of them, but we'll go to the basic ones, and then after that, then we'll apply this to biochemistry, or biochemistry means the chemistry applied to the biological system. All right, so that's basically the course syllabus. That's what we have. First test will be September 21st to the 100 points, and you have about 50 to 60 minutes. I'll give you 60 to 60. I'll send you I usually send the exam about 10 minutes before the class starts. Class starts at 11, right? I might say I will send the exam about, let's say, 10:50 or so, and you can take another hour from there. So basically altogether, you can 1 hour and 10 minutes. And if you need more time, I'll ask you at the time, and depending on the situation, I might grant some few more extra minutes also. If someone is enrolled SAS, do not worry about it. I will contact to you. I have all the names listed here, and once the time when the time comes for the exam, and a day before, I want you to remind me that you are taking the exam in the SAS. So I will allow you double the time. Whatever the time needed, you can have a double the amount. And if you need more time, just let me know. So all the exam, test 1, 2, and 3, 100 points each. Final exam is cumulative, 150 points each, and that time is different, not 11 o'clock, 10:15 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. in home, of course, remotely, and in the presence of the proctor, PROCTOR, right? And 30 points bonus, as I told you earlier. I used to have a homework, but as you probably know, I used to give 10 homeworks, and those homeworks been graded, but this time I'm not going to grade because it's too many of you, and at the same time, you have to send it to the email. So what I have done, I have given those practice homework. Those practice homework will be given once you finish a particular topic, and then you should practice those. And it is important, you must finish those. If you have any question, you can ask me during the office hour, or after the class, or before the class. Why? Because those practice homework and practice questions will be asked in the test, one way or another, right? And test and exams require detailed understanding of the covered materials and will be multiple choice questions. And obviously, you must have a proctor. If you do not have a proctor, only selective few, then tell me, then I can watch you through my webcam. All right, I will watch you throughout the time. You take the test, and I'll be proctor from here, if necessary. And as I told you, this is the extremely condensed course. Therefore, definitely you will see some topics are not details. Of course, you cannot have details. It is on the surface basically, because it is extremely condensed. It has the chemistry, it has the organic chemistry, it has the biochemistry. It has everything all together. It's a 3 credit hour course. It used to be 9 credit hours before, and it's been cut short to 3 credit hours. And therefore, we have to put everything, whatever you need to know, but at least at the same time, we should keep those topics intact as much as you can. All right. Attendance in the class is must. You must come. Your name will be called at random during the lecture, before the lecture, after the lecture. So you must stay, and once your name is called, what you did today, do it exactly the same thing. Turn on the microphone and turn on your video cam so I can see you, and just say I am here. And that's it. And I'm not going to call all of you from now on, and I'll be selecting few. And if you get sick, I hope not. Nothing soon, God forbid, nothing happens to anyone. If you cannot take the test on the scheduled dates, you must let me know, and you must give the proper reason why you cannot take the test. Otherwise, makeup test is impossible because there's so many of you. And in order to give the makeup test, you must have a good excuse. And if you do, we are all human beings, and then I'll give you the makeup test the way exactly in a similar fashion. All right, so that's basically the taking the test, and the topics will be discussed, and the course grade assignment is a pretty much standard. I used 90 to 100 A. There is no A plus, right? 87 to 89 A minus, etc., etc. You can see about 3 to 4 points jump each and every grade. So A minus, B plus, B, and let's say B minus, C plus, and also C, all sorts of letter grades. And I hope everybody will be way above those letter grades. And the less than 55 is the F. Of course, I don't think anyone will be in that range. And rest of the things are pretty much standard. Student with disabilities, cheating, etc., etc. You already know. The registration requirements, last day of the withdrawal, SSI, as a student supplementary instruction, right? That date will be given by the university, and that's basically to evaluate the class. And we also have a SI leader, the supplemental instruction, and that's our Clayton Moore. His name is Clayton Moore. He will mention to you the office hours, etc., etc. And if you need any help, obviously contact him, and he will help you as much as he can. And he is, according to the rules and regulation, he will be attending all of my classes. Actually, he was my SI leader for previous very few semesters ago. I think from 2018 or 17, something like that, right, Clayton? So he was the SI leader, and he knows the topics that I usually discuss in this class, and he'll be glad to help you any way you want. And I'm here to help you any way I can. Take advantage of the office hours. If you cannot make the office hours, send me email and set up the time, then we can discuss. We can chat to the same video chat, the Google Meet site, and we'll go from there. You take advantage of all the facts possible just to make sure that you understood the materials and you're well prepared for the test, and also you get something from this course, right? There is a academic coaching from the university college, and their site is www.ken.edu/coaching. You can also take advantage of that. I think it's a drop-in. You just call them or something like that and set up the time, and they have some people there, and they will help you if you need it. Coaching, academic, chemistry, biochemistry, etc., all those parts. All right, so that's basically our aim. The last but not the least, I also have a periodic table in the end. This periodic table we'll be using almost every time, whenever we need it. And if you need to consult it, you're all yours. All right. So that's basically the syllabus. And do you have any questions? Do you have any questions on this? Yes. Do you have any questions? No. Very good. If you not, then I have only 5 more minutes, I think, and I'm going to start something at least. All right. And that something is as follows. So I'm going to close this topics, and then I'm going to go to the the topics. All right. So first thing that we will start is a molecules of life, or you can say chemical foundations of life. So we need to know what is the criterion for a life form. The criterion for a life form is the 2 things. They must fulfill these 2 criterion, and those are replication and movement. So in other words, if you want to define an object has a life form that must replicate, it makes them replicate 1 to 2, 2 to 4, etc., etc., and it must move. It must move. So these are the 2 criterion to fulfill in an object as a life form, as a life. And as you probably know, all living creatures on Earth, or maybe some other planets as well, they have the building blocks of the life form is the cell, CLL, right? Everybody knows the cell. Definitely, you have a biology 101 or any kind of anywhere, you know, cell is the building block of all the life forms, And as you probably know, cell divide, that's called cell division, right? 1 cell become 2, 2 to 4, 2 to the power 4 to 8, and it's a 2 to the power n, or n is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? 3, 4, and etc. So cells multiply, that means it replicates, that's a replication, and in fact cells can move. And if you look at the bacteria has a very nice structure, as you probably know. Inside there is a nuclear region, dynamic region. It also has the ciliates. It can move. So they fulfill these two criteria: replication and movement. Replication and movement. All right. So in a cell, in a particular cell, if you look at the particular cell, it has several components. And what are those components? The components in a cell is as follows. Is this one. So let me make it another version. Sorry. And so the components in a living cell, and these are the components. I put just some of those. There are so many other things there too. It has a cell membrane. Everybody knows the cell membrane, right? Cell membrane is the one is protecting all those goody or good components inside the cell. Yeah? All right. So that's a cell membrane. All right. Someone turn off your microphone probably. So cell membrane. Cells has a cell membrane. It has a cytoskeleton. Cytoskeleton is the many proteins are basically beneath the cell membrane, and they basically keep the integrity of the cell membrane and the components in there. Mostly proteins. About 162 proteins are there in the cytoskeleton in a mammalian cells. And inside the membrane, or inside the cytoskeleton, we have the cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is a viscous liquid, viscous medium. And in the cytoplasm, there's so many organelles are there, depending on whether there are cells coming from the prokaryotic organism or eukaryotic organisms. Everybody knows, right? Organisms on Earth, maybe in other planet too, could be classified into two groups: prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Prokaryotes don't have a nucleus, but they do have a nucleoid region, and that's a nucleoid region. So the nucleoid region is the one. Is the nucleoid region basically? Let me see. Hello. Okay. So the nucleoid region has the genomic DNA. It has the genomic DNA, and that genomic DNA basically in bacteria, for example, we have about 4.65 times 10 to the 6 base pairs. Base pairs is the nucleotides. Nucleotide. That's called genomic DNA in the bacteria. In human, we have a nucleus. So we have a cell. Inside the cell, there is organelle, big organelle called nucleus, and inside the nucleus we have a 23 pairs of chromosomes. Everybody knows, right? 23 pairs of chromosomes, and inside the nucleus, there are two dots are there, two organelles, tiny two organelles. Those are called nucleolus. Nucleolus. Oh. Huh? I did not hear you though. All right.
Mr. Dada.
And who is this? Go ahead.
This is Suna. This is Suna. I was wondering, is this PowerPoint going to be on the blackboard?
No, this PowerPoint should not be in the blackboard. You have to take a note. No.
Okay.
No, it will not be the blackboard. I'm not going to put all those PowerPoints. No. Very good point. All right. So the organelle inside the cytoplasm, organelles like ribosomes, endoplasmic reticulums, Golgi, mitochondria, lysosome, peroxisome, and nucleolus. All right. Now tell me who know what's the function of the ribosomes? Does anyone know what's the function of the ribosomes? What's the function of the ribosomes? Yes? Anyone? What's the function of the ribosome? All right, maybe we'll talk about Monday, I think, right? Monday, I think we're done. It's 11:50, I guess. 11:51. So class is over, I guess, I think. All right, we'll talk next week. We'll continue from here, okay? All right. I'll see you next week, Monday.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Have a good weekend, everybody.
Have a great day.
Have a great day.
You too, thank you.
Have a good day.
You too, thank you.
I'm gonna stay prom.
All right, I'll see you next
Thank
week. Thank you.